A lot of men go through this type of problems because they try to be nice to avoid conflict. But what you don't know and what you probably fail to realize is that it's not women's fault, but women are always gonna test you. If you fall into this trap, you're gonna become a financial doormat and you can hit rock bottom. I'm telling you right now. This is where men lose everything in divorce, in this part right here. What's good, fam? Welcome to TradeLife Testimonies. Now, these testimonies are from anonymous audience. It's from random blue-collar men around the country who are carrying the weight of life on their shoulders. Welders, electricians, plumbers, mechanics, you name it, we have it. Now, what I do is I read it and I break it down the best I can, but I just want to give a quick disclaimer. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just giving you my personal opinion and the best possible situation that I would do. If you're in court, talk to your lawyer and listen to him. I'm just giving you my opinion on the matter based on facts and experience. All right, here's today's testimony. Looking for input from guys who've been through this. Going through divorce, 50-50 custody, 3 kids, no final agreement yet. Just temporary orders that cover custody. Child support, $500 a week, and splitting medical costs. My ex went out and bought the kids winter gear, boots, coats, without talking to me first. Now she's asking me to pay half. Her reason being is that since the kids will use these items at both houses, it should be shared expense. Now, a couple of issues I'm wrestling with. Number one, she didn't consult me before buying. One pair of boots was $120, way more than I would have to spend. Don't I get input if I'm expected to pay? Number two, isn't this exactly what child support is supposed to cover? Our temporary orders only mention splitting medical costs, not clothing. And number three, we have a hearing coming up where she's asking for more child support. I'm concerned that if I pay this, it sets a precedent or gets used against me somehow. I don't want to come across like I'm not providing for my kids, but I also can't just write a check every time she decides to buy something. How have you guys handled stuff like this? Am I off base here? Now, bro, first off, you're not off base here. This is one of those situations where men get manipulated through guilt. And let me be clear. The fact that you want a system and fairness doesn't mean that you are a bad father. It just means that you're finally waking up and you're acting out of reason, not out of emotion. Now, here's what's going on underneath the surface. It's not about the boots. If there's nothing written and if there's nothing set on stone, everything is in the air. So everything becomes a power move. Men don't realize this, but divorce isn't just emotional. It becomes a leverage game. It's about authority, boundaries, and who is setting the standard moving forward. Now, if you handle this emotionally, you're going to lose. But if you handle it with structure, you will win on the long term. Let me explain by this. Moving on from now forward, everything that you talk with her, it has to be through text, not talking face to face, not talking over the phone, preferably text or email. And why is that? Because that way you can prove it in court. Because the court don't care about feelings. The court is all about what you can prove. If you don't set a standard, the judge is only gonna be based on what he can prove on. So let's say if she buys boots for the kids that are worth more than $100 every 2 weeks, and she does that for a certain amount of time, and you just keep paying for it, by the time you guys go to court again, the judge is going to look at that, and that's the standard that is going to take. It's just going to be like, well, you've been paying for it all this time. I don't see why you can't keep paying it moving forward. So it's really important that you set standards through writing. How do you do that? Well, here's one thing that you can do. So number one, don't fund anything without agreement. Pay your child support and everything that you're supposed to pay, and split the medical costs. But for anything else, you have to let her know that she has to consult you first. If she wants to buy certain things for the kid, she has to tell you, hey, I'm planning to buy this type of clothing or this type of boots to the kid. It's gonna cost around this much. Would you agree? Would you split it on half, or would you pay for it? She has to ask you first. Don't let her just buy random stuff and expect you to pay for it. Because if you pay for it, like I said, moving forward, they're gonna expect you to keep paying for it. Now, it all depends on your order and the state that you live in. Now, here's a rule of thumb. If someone spends your money without consulting you, that's not co-parenting. That's unilateral decision making. Now, isn't child support supposed to cover for the clothing? In a lot of situations, yes, child support is supposed to cover for the basic. But again, don't argue law with feelings. Your stronger play is stick to your orders and build a clean pattern. And your orders say, in this case, child support is $500 a week, and medical costs, you're supposed to split them. They don't mention nothing about clothing. So what do? Don't rant, don't argue, just respond calm as a CFO. Now, number three, will paying will set a precedent for court? Now, this is the real fear. As I mentioned, you don't want to be in a situation where Everything that you do creates an expectation. This is why it's really important to keep documentation of everything. Keep the text, have everything in writing. Now, this doesn't mean never help. This doesn't mean not be responsible, but you just gotta be smart with your wording and with your responses, because all of this will create a pattern that says she buys, you pay half. She buys more, you pay more. The court will say he's been paying you all this time. That's why you gotta move with structure. Now, here's a plan you can do, plain and simple. Don't argue about the boots. That's step number one. Because once you get emotional, she wins the frame every time. Don't argue things like, that's not fair, child support should cover that, you're scamming me, blah, blah, blah. Because all of that sounds defensive, and that's gonna make you lose. Instead, you said things like, I want the kids to be taken care of. Moving forward, we need a process. You set a boundary and you propose a system. You need a rule like any expenses outside of the orders must be agreed before the purchase. Simple as that. And if she starts arguing with you, just let her argue, but have everything on check. Be calm, hold your frame, and say what you need to say. That is the sentence. Because basically what she's doing right now is I decide the expense and you just pay for it. That's the pattern that she's creating. Offer two reasonable options. If you just tell her what to do and just give her like one option, she's gonna become defensive because nobody likes to be told what to do. Instead, you offer options, and any of those options is gonna benefit you. Here's what you can do. You can say, option A, I bought the gear for my house and you buy the one from yours. This is gonna avoid the use at both houses argument, and it's gonna benefit both of you. Or option B, we can create a seasonable budget per kid and agree on price ranges. Example, if the boots are $60 and the coat is like $80, that means that total seasonal budget is $150 per kid. Anything more than that needs approval, but anything lower than that, it's okay because you guys already agree on. And that's not being cheap. You just being structured, and use written communication only. I cannot stress this enough. If you don't have nothing that you can prove on writing, text, emails, the court is not gonna help you out, because the court doesn't care about how you feel or what's fair or not, because even the law is blind. You gotta prove the court that you've been talking to her and you've been trying to create a system, so you can prove that you've been giving her options. And that way, if she don't wanna agree on those options, you can take that documentation and show it to the court. And also document your support quietly, low key, because even if you chose to pay for it, even if you chose to support her on whatever she's buying, you can create a note that says something like this: contributing this one time without establishing ongoing expectation. Moving forward, we need agreement before a purchase. Just like that. That's documenting your support. Now, like I said, I'm not an attorney. This is just based on facts and experience. But moving forward, you can always ask your attorney to use the exact words or the right words for the court. However, I'm gonna send you a clear message that you can send or you can write that might be able to help you out. Now check this out. Thanks for getting the kids winter gear. I agree they need it and I'm always gonna provide for them. For anything outside the temporary order, which currently covers child support and medical, I need us to agree on shared expenses before purchases are made, especially when price ranges vary. Moving forward, let's either, number one, each keep clothing at our own houses, or number two, set a seasonal budget per kid and agree on price ranges before buying. For this purchase, I'm willing to contribute X amount of dollars or purchase comparable items for my home, but I can't commit to split it on approved expenses going forward. That's calm, that's fair, and that's father first. Now, here's the red pill aware part of it. A lot of men go through this type of problems because they try to be nice to avoid conflict. They try to be the nice ex or the nice parent or the nice husband to avoid conflict. But what you don't know and what you probably fail to realize is that it's not woman's fault, but women are always gonna test you subconsciously. If you fall into this trap of just being nice, just to avoid conflict and avoid confrontation, you're gonna become a financial doormat and you can hit rock bottom. I'm telling you right now, you can lose everything. This is where men lose everything in divorce, in this part right here, because they're trying to be they try to comply, they're trying to be nice, and most of the times they ended up with nothing because they tried to avoid that confrontation and they're trying to avoid that conflict, and they became a financial slave. Don't be like that. Be a stoic, think about your kids, always take care of them. But I know it's a struggle, I know it is. You're gonna be stressed for a while, to be honest with you, but don't become a financial doormat. Always hold your frame and act out of reason, not out of emotion. Don't argue with her, never argue with the women, because you're always gonna lose, because they're faithful to the feelings. You always gotta be stoic and think about the best outcome. Talk to your lawyer, of course, but always check your feelings first. Don't be nice just because you're trying to avoid conflict. And women, especially after a breakup, will always try to push boundaries to see how much they can get away with. Now, I'm gonna tie this into fitness because there's something really important that you need to know. Every every time I speak to men in this situation, they're always at the bottom of their life. They're always hitting rock bottom. And why is that? Because after all this struggle, after all this time that they spend money in court, that they don't get to see their kids, they stop taking care of themselves. They stop eating right. They stop working out. And I'm telling you right now, your body is your own weapon, especially in court. If you don't look good, you're not gonna act good. You're gonna act out of emotion. And the more you act out of emotion, the more you're gonna fail. And that's just gonna affect you when it comes to your family and to your kids. And then they wonder why they cannot think straight. Because when your nervous system is cooked, you become reactive. And reactive men get baited into dumb texts, dumb arguments, emotional reactions. And remember, the wise man acts, but the dumb man reacts. Training makes you act. So to recap for this, brother, you're not wrong for wanting input. Child support may cover the basics, but don't argue about building a system. Number 3, don't fall into a pattern of she spends and I pay. Number 4, communicate in writing. Number 5, offer a structure like I told you. And number 6, keep training. Take care of yourself so you don't get lost in your own feelings. Take care of yourself, take care of yourself mentally, and take care of yourself physically. This is how you win, not by fighting over boots, but by building a structure that is gonna set your path to success in the next 10 years. So if you're dad and you're going through divorce or custody disputes, comment the word rebuild so other men know that they're not alone in this. And if you want to submit your anonymous testimony for a future TradeLife episode, just DM me directly the word TradeLife and I'll tell you how to send it. Also, if you're a blue collar man who's trying to drop some body fat, get your mind right, and rebuild your discipline while all your life is falling apart, just DM me the word rebuild and I'll send you the information of my one-on-one coaching and see what I can do for you. All right, fam, stay solid, stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next episode.